All right.
Where did you share?
No, I didn't share. She can text to the group, yeah. So I think it's Tim, right? Was it you? Okay. Okay, guys, I have started the recording. What did you on Friday, guys? Practice tasks. Okay, what was the do you remember what's the one that you remember most from that Friday? How many practice tasks did you solve on Friday? 4 tasks. All right. Which one was the one that you remember most from that Friday? What's the task? Do you remember those tasks, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can give me any one, like maybe the hardest one or the most interesting one. Let's discuss a bit. Okay.
Yeah, I was absent. What was this? I didn't watch.
Online students. Can you hear me, online students?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, can you give me one example from the last practice tasks you were doing on Friday?
So we were doing like list of favorite car brands, and to make them modify them to lower case or like
Car
specific.
brand. Okay. All right. Give me 5 car brands.
Toyota,
Toyota. Okay. Okay.
Lexus.
Is this brand? I don't know. I'm not good in cars. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There are 5 brands. And what did you do with those 5 brands last time on Friday?
The first one, even the index and make it uppercase.
So you were on Friday.
At the start, I was after
Okay. So I think you needed to do something like this. Change each element where the index is even all to uppercase, so that at the end it's Toyota, then Lexus this way, right? It was this way?
Yeah, like if the string element is even.
Element or its index? Or its length?
Length of element.
Length of the element. Okay, so Toyota, will we make this Toyota all in uppercase?
If the even should be uppercase. If odd.
How about this Toyota?
This is 6. It means it's even.
And it should be all in uppercase. Okay.
It's, if I'm not mistaken, there's something like.
Okay. Were you able to solve it on Friday? All right. So for today, guys, we have a new topic. Topics called methods. Before, guys, what methods from Java do you know so far? Let's list here down all of the methods that we know. Substring. Okay, substring. All right, these are from string. Now I don't want to hear methods from string, other methods.
Split method.
Split method, it also comes from string class. How about other methods other than string class methods? Lengths. I don't want to hear any methods from string class because I know that you remember all of them.
While loop.
Sort method. Did you say while loop?
Mm-hmm.
No. While loop, it's a loop. So it's something to control flow. A while loop. How do you know if something is a method or not a method? What's the difference between this length substring and this while loop?
First of all, it's using the parentheses.
Yeah, there is a parenthesis, and usually we call them this way, dot, and then a method. But while loop is not a method, it's a statement. Control flow statements. There is while and other loops and if statements. All right, sort. Do we know only 4 methods? It's really a shame, guys, like that you are so quiet.
Contains, yeah, it's also.
Yeah, but let's list some other methods other than string class methods.
That one, character is digit, character is letter.
Character is digit and character is letter. Okay.
If it's an integer array, we can find max element minimum.
And what's the name of the method?
Is
No, there shouldn't be a ready method like max or min.
yeah.
There is no method like this. How about method like next line? Do you remember this method? Is it a method? Yeah. Is it a method? Yeah. So did you forget it? Next line. From random. Next in main method. Main method is also a method. All right. One more person who gives me an example, like another method, not from string class, he's the best student.
What was the question?
Yeah, give me one more method that's not from string class.
Conditions, if else.
Oh, it's not method.
Method is something when you do dot and then next line. We never do dot and while. Split? No, it's from string class. Huh?
Print line. So,
Print line, yeah? It is a method. You are the best.
thank you.
Yeah. Print line, it's a method. Yeah, substring. So these are all of them are methods. And so here, guys, I would like to note here 2 methods. Sort method, arrays dot sort, and arrays to string. What's the difference between these 2 methods? Between these 2 methods?
Array sort is given elements in ascending order. Yeah.
Yeah. What does it do, you said?
Return. Oh,
Do you think arrays?
it's not return, it's just sorted it in ascending order.
All right. So arrays that sort and to string. All right. Its task is to arrange numbers in ascending order. How about arrays to string?
Return as convert array to string.
Tim, what does arrays to string? What's its task? What each method has their own task. What's the task for the arrays to string?
All value.
So does array, if you call arrays to string, will it print?
Yes.
If arrays to string prints, why do we need system out print line?
Array to string. And then variable.
It returns a string, or it returns an int. What does it return?
Returns string,
Int or string?
string.
Jumagul, what do you think? Does it return int or string? Arrays to string. Arrays to string returns us a string, right, guys? And what's inside that string? It's always the same. Something that's always the same pattern. Returns a string where all elements
Same.
are in the square brackets. Yeah? They're in square brackets. All right. Can we put this arrays.sort method call inside system out print line
No, no.
like this?
No.
How about this one? System out print line arrays to string.
Yes. Second one we can print.
First one, yeah. It's doable. We can do this. How about the second one?
Yes. Second one we can print.
All right, so this one we can't do because it sorts, but we have two types of methods, guys. We're gonna learn today. This one is called void method. This one is called returning type method. Void method, returning type method. All right, how about this method? Character is digit. Is it a method? All right, what does character is digit do? What does it do?
They return the Boolean.
It returns a Boolean value.
This check is digit.
Checks whether a character is digit. Yeah, it returns. So is it a void method or return type method? It's returning type method. There are two types of methods in Java, returning type methods and void methods. All right, how about this character is digit? Can we call this character is digit in system out print line? Character is digit. Can you call this? Yeah, is it true? Can we call this character is digit in the system out print line?
Now. Now we can.
We can.
Why we can call arrays to string? Because it gives us something. How about character is digit? Does it also returns us something? Yeah, it gives us back something. So character is digit can also be called inside system out print line. Can we do this kind of thing? Int number equals arrays dot sort and some array. Can we create this kind of statement? Yes, why?
No.
If no, why? If yes, why?
In number, it's primitive data type, yeah. Arrays, it's non-primitive.
So how about this? How about this?
Not array, we need to change to number inside of parentheses.
All right. So arrays that sort. And what do we need to, what do we pass inside this method? What do we pass here?
Integer.
We pass here an array. Int array 1, 2, 3, 4. Arrays dot sort. What do we pass here array? Okay. So most likely array is an array where it has some values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just didn't show it here. It is some array like this.
Precise.
Is it doable? The answer is very short. Yes? Tim?
The answer is short, is no.
No.
It's shorter than yes, so that's why it's no. Yeah. Why? Because arrays to string returns, so not arrays to string, arrays that sort. Does it return as a value? No, no, it doesn't return a value. So never, you cannot do this, or you can't do this. It's impossible. This way or this way, because arrays that sort doesn't return. How about this? Arrays to string. Can you create this kind of statement, Tim? No? Why? Why we can't? Let's try. String port to string. So can we do it, guys? Yes, we can do it. Why we can do it, but we cannot do this?
Because to string method is returning us to string.
It returns us string, right? How about, can I change this type from string to int?
No.
Why?
Because it's returning string to us.
Because it returns us a string. How about this? Why there is an error?
Because sort method is returning nothing.
It doesn't return a value. That's why there is an error. It doesn't return a value. How about this? Let's say we have here string board, laptop. Can I write here contains? Yes, why?
Because contain is returning boolean true.
Contains returns a Boolean value. How about this? Starts with.
Yes.
Again, it returns a Boolean value. Here we see it. For arrays sort, there is no Boolean or string here because it returns us nothing. It's void method. So our topic for today is methods, guys. Methods. What are methods in Java? Do you think, guys, having methods in Java simplifies the code creation? Yeah? Yeah, can you explain how?
Because method is already created codes. We can reuse it inside of the.
Reuse, very good. We are gonna use this word today a lot because it's one of the main advantages of methods. What are the methods? If you need to describe a method, how will you describe a method?
Block of code.
It's a block of code. For example, print line. Is it a method? Print line, it is a method. It's a block of code. But where is that block? I don't see that block of code. Block of code means not just one line. There. System out print line. Hello. So as you know, print line is a block of code. But where is that block of code? It is, yeah, in other place. It's in other place, such as print stream class. So there is a block of code for print line method. All right, again, what are methods in Java? It's a block of code and elaborate. It performs a specific task. Why are methods so important in Java? Can somebody answer other than Mahabatche?
I
Why are
think,
methods so important?
I think it's to save time so we don't have to write again and again.
Yeah,
To reuse these methods.
exactly. What if we needed to use print line and there were no methods in Java? Then we would need to use this a lot of times. Like instead of just writing print line, we would need to write this. We would need to write this. If I will ask you to display 4 numbers, then you would need to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of this. It's the block of code behind system out print line. So this way, using these methods, we save time. And how about this case, this statement? We create methods once and we reuse them. We use them only once. We create a method only once and we use them only once. Is it true?
Yes.
You can use it many
No,
times.
I mean it's reusable.
Yeah, we can create a method. The proper statement would be methods are created once and reused as many times as we want. We can reuse this print line as many times as we want. System out print line, system out print line. All right. So what are the types of methods, guys, in Java? What are the 2 types of methods in Java? Do you remember it? We discussed it only a few minutes ago here.
That return
Void.
and void.
A
Void.
method that returns and a method that doesn't return. This one is called void. This one is returning type method. So how many types of methods are there in Java? There are 2. Okay, there are 2 Java methods. It's a block of code which only runs when it's called. Only when it's called. For example, is it true that I didn't call here a method in this main method? I never called a method here in this main method.
Yeah, because there is void, that's why.
No. Where, like, I never called inside this main method a method. Yeah, it's
Yes.
empty. I
Yes.
never called a
There
method.
is no method, yes.
If we use system out print line, then we are calling a method and we are using whatever print line provides us. So method runs only when you call it. If I'm sitting somewhere else and you see me, but you are but I'm looking at different side, you can say, hey Joe, and then I will notice you, right? Then I will turn back. But if you if you just do this, of course I will not see you. So only when you call a method runs. Each method performs something specific. Print line displays us something. Arrays.sort sorts numbers. Arrays, to string converts an array in a string format. All right. Methods allow us reusability. It's the main advantage of methods, reusability. All right. What are the applications that you know, guys? Mobile applications, probably could be mobile application or desktop program. Give me 1 example, 2 examples. Yeah. WhatsApp. Do you think, guys, WhatsApp was created, everything related to WhatsApp, every code was written inside the main method? Do you think it's this way? Like everything? No. So WhatsApp, it's a huge application. There are different parts. It has settings part, it has chats part. There are video calls, and there are audio calls. There are a bunch of features, and all of them are created in separate classes. There could be a class settings, there could be a video call, and there are a lot of methods. All right, before this day, we always created our program only inside the main method, So from now on, probably you will create more methods, more than only main method. We'll be creating here other methods. Imagine if WhatsApp, this whole application was created inside the main method, then it wouldn't be readable. If someone opens it, there would be how many lines of code? Imagine, maybe thousands, maybe 10,000, maybe 100,000. There is a lot of code inside WhatsApp. That's why we need to separate everything. We need to make everything to be in their own module. Java methods. You can pass data to a method when it's called. All right. So there are two types of methods. How methods are created. The structure of methods. Method declaration. Let's do this. Open your IntelliJ IDEA. Open your IntelliJ IDEA, and in package day37, create a class called method structure. Create a class called method structure. All right, let me quickly make a roll call here for today. Okay. All right, guys. So this is the parts of each method. How many parts does variable have, guys? How many parts are there in each variable when you declare a variable?
Three.
3 parts. Data type, name, and value. Data type, name, and value. So it's pretty similar. Here we have the data type, name, and then parameters list part. It has 3 or 4 parts if we include the method body. Type, method name, and parameter list. All right. Do you know, Tim, this rule? Rule is camel case rule. Have you ever heard this rule?
Yes.
Yeah? What does it mean? Camel case rule. Have you ever heard this rule? No?
Case,
Camel case rule.
something safe.
You mean regarding naming variables, right? Or
Yeah, regarding naming variables. So whenever
Yeah,
you
it-
create a variable, if it consists of two words, then each following word starts with uppercase. All right, for methods, it's the same. If it has 2 words, then the following word starts with uppercase. Okay, this is one example of, guys, a method. So in this one, how many parts do you see? Three, what are the
Four?
parts? All right, public is when you would like to make your method public so that it could be used in other places. We can also make our methods private. We can make methods private so that they can be used only in a specific place. Public and private. Okay, go to this class, the one that we created. Create here a main method, and next to this main method, create this one.
Inside the main method.
No. So another very good thing to notice. So this is a method. Main. Is it a method? This one, the one I selected. This is a method. Method and method. They both have this. They have the same label. The same label. How about method and array? Are they both in the same label? Method and array. Which one could be bigger?
Method.
Method, yeah. Because array is created inside the method. So when it's method and method, they're created on the same label. It means we don't create the method inside the main. It should be created on the same label here. Create this method, public void print message.
So public class is the class, right?
What do you mean?
Public class, method structure.
Public class method structure, it's a class.
Class.
Yeah, it's a class.
Inside the class is the method.
Yeah, this one are methods, method label. So next to this method, create this one, public void print message. Each method has their own specific task. What's the specific task done by this method? If you would like to say to world, hello world, then we can call this method print message. Yeah, create this method.
Any shortcut for this message?
Oh, no, there's no shortcut. Public void print message. All right. It should be a really quick thing, guys. Have you done this? Have you created it? All right. If you created, it's good. Public void print message. And then text is hello world. Okay. So public. Seems like there are more than 3 parts. Public is called an access modifier. Let's say, guys, there is a room. There is a room. Right now, do you know in which room are we? Google room, right? Let's say Chase room is a private room. And it's such a room where only people, let's say, where only students of TechState can enter. You are TechState students. So you can go to Chase room. What if there is my friend, but he's not a student, comes to this campus and tries to enter the Chase room? In terms of Java, he won't be able to enter that room because that room is private. But Google room is public. If this room is public, he can enter this room. So if a method is public, it can be called anywhere. Anywhere. If method is private, it doesn't have the same broad scope. It's not visible for each place of this project. So private and public, it's logically easy to understand. Private is more strict, right? Public, less strict. Public. If you don't write this public, it's not public and it's not private. It has some other access modifier. It is default, but we don't write it here. So for now, just write here public and then void. What does void mean? Just logically, what do you think? What does void mean?
Just try to escape or
No? What? Just print? Void. It means that this method doesn't return something. How many types of methods do you know? Two types. The one that returns something and the one doesn't return, void. So this one tells us that this method doesn't return a value. All right, this one is a method name. How about this place? How do we call this one? Parenthesis. Do we call it parenthesis?
Methods.
How do we call it?
parameter.
Parameter list. It's called parameter list. So there are three parts: void, method name, and parameter list. Is it true that our parameter list is empty? Yeah. Is it true?
Yes.
Yeah, there is nothing in the parameters list. And methods are created to be called, to be used. So how do we call this method? There is this possibility. We can call this method in itself. It's possible. But logically, it will create something infinite. If you call this method, it will call itself again. It goes inside, it calls itself again, and then again and again, it calls itself. There is no end for this method. We call these methods usually in other places. For example, this method can be called here in the main method. If you add here one more keyword. All right. How would you call this public and void, guys? As one word. Is there a word that describes what public is and what void is? Like a word that categorizes this everything. For example, static or for or if. How can we call these words? How can we call them? We could call them special words. They're not basic words. These are special words, or these are keywords. We call them keywords. Public is a keyword, static is a keyword, void is a keyword. String, is it a keyword or just a word? It's a keyword. Keyword means we cannot create a variable with that name. All right. Add here next to this public, guys, here a word static. Add this static keyword here. All right. Next. Hello. Text state. Hello text state. If I run this main method, what will it display? Hello text state. And why do we have this green run button here, but we don't have it here? Why? Both of them are methods. Main is a method
One
and
of them-
print message is also a method.
By the prior.
One of them has priority, right? More priority is the main one, because main method is a starting point. Yep. So if you run this, we see hello text state. All right. And we created this method. This method should be called, guys. We need to call these methods. How do we call it? For example, if somebody's name is N, how do you call that person? N, you call it N. So if method's name is print message, we call it just writing its method name. Print message and this. All right. If I run this main method, what do you expect in the output?
Hello, state, hello, world.
Hello text state and hello world. Hello text state and hello world. All right. This is a block of code called here. Here we call a method. What will happen if I do this? What do you think logically? If I do this.
And then, yeah, follow the.
So
state and
imagine I run this
follow-
code. What's in the output?
Follow the state, then follow world 10 times.
Is it true?
No, only
Just
hello
follow
world 10
the
times.
text state.
Hello to state 1 time, hello world 10 times.
Yeah, this is what Tim said. So hello text state is displayed
One
only
time.
one time, only once, and hello world 10 times. All right. How about this? Print message and then again print message.
Follow the state, follow world, follow world.
Hello text state, hello world, hello world. Okay. What if I do this? Here, here. What if I do this?
Follow the state and follow world 20 times.
All right, we run this code. First, obvious, it's hello text state. Next lines. What are the next lines? How many times?
Hello,
20?
20.
10 times.
When this print message is called, when it's called, our focus moves from this main method to this method. It will come here. So here, I'm gonna show you. It will display first hello text state, and then it will execute this line, print message. So when it comes to method call statement, the focus moves from here to method. It moves from there to here. All right. So when this high will be displayed in the output?
After the 10 times hello world.
Yeah. After 10 times hello world is printed, it will go back here. Run this one, then it runs this method. So when it runs this method, it again goes to this
Times.
method, right? All right. What do you think? Can we create inside this curly braces? We see here curly braces. What can we create inside this curly braces? In the area of this curly braces, can we create scanner, object, string objects? Yeah. How about this? Right here. Here we also have a curly braces. We can again create here variable. We can create an object. How about a for loop? Can we create here a for loop?
Yes.
Yeah, we created it, right? Few minutes ago, we created it.
Everything is same, right?
Yeah, this main is a method. Print message is also a method. Should we create methods inside in other methods?
No.
No. No, methods should be created on the same label. All right, so here, hello world. Here is hello world. Next. Next page, next slide. Void methods. There are 3 types of methods in Java, right? First one is void type, second one is return type, and third one is
For you. But third time.
there are only 3 types of methods. Right? Return type, void type.
And the
Just
There are only 2 types of methods, right? It's void type and returning type method. There are only 2 types of methods, guys. First one or second one, doesn't matter, it is void methods. Void methods don't return any value. When you call void method, does it return you something? No. Can you give me one example, Jolchubek Beke, of void method. A method that doesn't return any value.
Not return any.
Yes. Wombege, can you give me an example of method that doesn't return a value?
Sort.
Array sort, it doesn't return a value. Right. So here, example is arrays.sort. Okay, so commonly void methods are used just to complete something. Arrays.sort. It is used just to, just to change the array's order. All right,
What the boolean? Is it
Boolean?
return or not? Boolean.
Boolean, it's data type.
I mean the return boolean, true or false.
Okay, contains method is an example of a Boolean method.
Yes.
It returns a Boolean.
Yes. Is it void or return?
It returns.
Return.
It returns, so it's returning type method. When it's returning type method, we write here instead of void, Boolean. So now this method is a void type method, right? It's a returning type method. It's not a void type method. It's returning type method. This one is void type. Void methods. This one is an example. We already have this example right here, print message. All right. If I call this method here, how do I call this method? How do we call methods?
Variable name.
By their names. Print message. All right. Can we write here this int a equals print message? Is it possible to create this
No.
statement?
No.
No. Why?
Because print message is include the string hello world.
The answer is no, because it doesn't return a value. Because it doesn't return a value. If it was something like this, int, then now it works. Because this one returns a value. And the value returned should be int. But did we return here something? Did we do something special to return? No. That's why it is red here. It tells us you didn't create a return statement yet. Okay. How about this? If I uncomment this line, will this line 7 be red? No?
That's okay.
All right. Who thinks it's going to be red? The line will be,
Red?
yeah.
Okay.
All right. It is because this method, again, doesn't return a value. This method doesn't return a value. So the answer is easy. All right. And mostly, guys, testers, they create void type methods. So something for your note. Testers usually create void type methods. Developers, mostly they create return type methods for their job. Okay. What happens, guys, if I change void to another return type in this method? If I change this void, what types do you know in Java, guys?
Return.
Data type.
Yeah, data types.
Primitive, non-primitive.
Yeah, it could be int, boolean, string. What if we change this void to another return type, such as string? What will happen? It will return string. Like, it's gonna be successful code creation. Do you think so? If I just change this void method to string, will everything be correct in this class? No, again, no. Do we return here something? No, nothing special done. Like return and hi. We have never returned. All right. If If we change this void to int, what will happen? Nothing, really? There will be something. And this something is an error.
Change this side, side the void or?
What happens if I change the void to another return type? So here is this. If you change it to int, then there is an error. Because we didn't create their special statements such as return, void methods. Who creates void methods more? Developers or testers? Testers? All right. Yeah. The other type of method is methods with return types. These methods return values. They don't just execute a code. Return type methods should always have a return statement in the body. This is a rule. A return type method should always have a return statement in the body. Joltubek Bayke, if I change this void type to int type, what will happen?
It will be red E.
Yeah? What's the type? What type of method it is, guys?
Return.
It's a return type method. And what's the rule for each return type method?
The return plus return like.
There should be return statement. There should be return statement such as this. And then it depends from the logic. If it's method to return some of them, some of numbers, it could be this. It returns int. This method returns int, and it should be int. It cannot be string because the method says it should return an int, method signature. This place, guys, this part is called method signature. Method signature. All right. Create inside day37 another class called return method. Create this class, return method, and a main method.
Two classes, okay?
Return method, create this class, and then a main method inside. And then next to this main method, create this method, public int add. All right, how do we call this part, guys? Parenthesis. All right, we call it parenthesis. And let me write it as the third bullet point. Int A, int B are parameters. Parameters. This part is called, how do we call it? Parameters list. How many parameters in the parameters list? Two parameters, right? Int A and B are parameters. All right. Public int add. Public int add parameters list, int A, int B, and what should be always in a return type method?
Return.
A return statement. There should be always a return statement. And as the method name says, this method does an addition, probably of two numbers, of A and B. Okay. And let's add to this method signature a static keyword, guys. Public static int. We will learn later what does this public, what does this static. Even if you remove them, it will still function. Public static int. All right. And how do we use this add method, guys? How do we call them?
By name.
By their name. Methods are called by their name. Add. All right. But there is something that causes an error. What could be, guys, this thing? No, not yet.
Inside the press, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here, guys, this method has a parameters list. This method accepts, guys, how many parameters?
Two.
2 parameters. So when you call this method, we should pass there how many values?
Two.
2. It cannot be just 1 value. It should be 2 values. All right. If we run this code now, what will be in the output?
Nothing. Nothing.
15?
No.
Nothing. Nothing is there. What type of method is it? Is it a void type or returning type method? A returning type method, right? It's a returning type method. When and what data type it returns? Like it returns us a value, and what's the data type for that value?
Integer.
So we can store or hold that value in a variable. If it returns something, we can store it here. Why I can't declare it as a string, guys?
No.
Why? The answer is too easy.
Include integers.
Method. Don't have to-
Because method's return type is int. It doesn't say string. All right. What if I change it to string here? Why is it red here?
List is-
String.
No.
But you should-
Because inside the parentheses integers, right?
No, it's not
String.
about the parentheses. Like it could be, but mainly it's about the type of method. This method type is string. String method. It is a string method, and it should return a string because here we said it is a string method. But does this method return us a word, a string, a text?
No.
It returns a number. Sum of A and B. It is a number. It could be a string if it is this. Now it returns a string. What if I display this result? What will be? Take a moment, guys. Take a moment. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask. Let's say Tim. Okay. What's the output here?
AB. Right?
Yeah.
No.
Will it be 15? What do you think? Will it be 15? Yeah.
AB.
All right. If you run this code, it displays us A plus B. All right. We call this method and we store the result in an object. When you call this method, is it true that the focus will move from here to the method?
Yes.
Imagine if my cursor is a focus. Our focus is here. Then when it calls this method, it moves here.
Yes.
Yeah, it works this way. When method is called, the focus moves to the method body. So now we are here inside this method. What does this method return?
String.
Yes. A plus
String.
B.
String A plus B. So the result is A plus B. Originally it was int method. What if we run this code? What will be displayed?
50. 1.
Now, is it 15 or A plus B?
15.
15. When you call this method, it moves here and returns the value, which is A plus B. What if we do this? What will be the value returned?
15,
It's 16, yeah. How about this?
21.
25.
25.
All right. How about this, guys? If I move back here, if I uncomment this, will this work, guys? Will this work properly?
No.
if I uncomment it.
Do not work
Why?
because it's commented.
Yeah, if I uncomment it,
Anka. Ah,
it will
Yeah.
cause an error because this method
Does not return.
doesn't return a value. That's why. This one returns a value. All right. How about this statement, guys? Is it true that values passed to the parameters list should match the type? No?
yes.
Yes. We cannot pass here string because the parameters list is int and int. It's not int and string. Parameters list should match, the type should match. The type returns int. So we can do this. What if it was void? Then we cannot do it because it doesn't return a value. It's a return method. All right. Parameters and arguments. Parameters allow methods to accept input values and process them. Here, how many parameters does this one accept, guys? Two parameters, int x and int y. And then later, inside this method, you can use those parameters. X plus y is used, and the sum is stored in in a variable sum. All right. Is it a returning type method?
Yes.
No.
No, void. This is void.
This is void type method. It doesn't return a value. It does something specific, like displaying the sum, and that's it. But if you need to get that sum and maybe use it in your main method, then what type will you choose? If it processes the x and y somehow, and then you need that value, you need that sum, or maybe their multiplication, their product. If I need that value, then I better make it returning type. But if I don't need it, if I just need to display it or just get done something inside it and that's it, then better make it void. All right. Why do we need parameters in methods? Yeah.
We use the parameter to execute some task, some
For example, it's just an example. Public void test. Let's move to this website. So how many guys, how many menu links do you see here?
all of them.
Can you count them? Let's say it's 18, okay? Let's say it's 18 and we need to check if there are 18 menu links or not. If you need to check it, you can create some methods that takes an array of links. And then you need to check if the number of elements inside this links is 18 or not. If you need to work on some data, then you need a parameters list. Then you need a parameters list. You, as a tester, you like most of the time you will create methods as void type. Most of the time. But there could be also return type methods. Okay. Calling a method. We create methods to call them. And here we have two versions of calling a method. One of them is a void type method. The other one is return type method. Can we write here in front of this display message right here, int a equals Can we do?
No.
Ziyadeche, can we do it?
Can you repeat?
Can we write in front of this display message int a and store the value returned after this method is called? Yeah? Does this method return a value? Yeah?
No, void, no.
It doesn't return a value. So then we cannot write here int a display message or string a display message, never. Because this one doesn't return a value. This one returns a value. That's why we can create a variable and store the value returned from this method. What's the value returned after this method is called? The value returned after this method is called is 12,
So
the value. The result is 12, and then when you display the result, the value is 12. All right. What will happen, guys, if I don't include a return statement in, for example, in a Boolean method? What will happen if you don't include the return statement? Will not work because return statement should be always in a return type method. So there's going to be an error. Next, return statement. The return keyword is used to send a result back. What's the result sent back, guys? You know the result sent back to the main? It is somewhere like 16 or 20, right? Is it 20? It's somewhere like between 15 and 16.
17, 20.
Okay, it is 17. It's 17. So if you have return and something like this, is it true that the value, the expression, calculates it and then sends back the result here?
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes.
Yeah. The return keyword is used to send a result back to the line where the method is called. What's the value of area?
The radius multiplied for radius.
Yeah, probably formula is wrong, but the value here inside the area will be inside this variable.
The result of this mathematics
5.5.
It is 70 something.
2025.
5.5 multiplied by 5.5 is 27, let's say. Multiplied by 3 is 71. Because the expression you see here we have 2 times radius multiplied. It's not once.
30.
So the importance of matching the return type and parameters list. Let's say I change this double to int. What will happen if you change this double to int?
It will not work, yeah?
Yes. Why?
Because it's a Boolean method, it's a double. Double radius.
No. I can make it even string, and we can pass here a string. We can do this. We can use here 2 strings even. What will happen if we change this double to int radius? What will happen? Why?
Because it's int for double is for mathematics. Like
No. What's the value passed here as a parameter?
5.5.
5.5. Can you store 5.5 inside an int? Can you?
You can.
No, it doesn't match.
Boolean.
It's not matching. If we move back here, if I change it, for example, here, this one, if I change to int back, and if I pass 10.5, there is an error. The value doesn't match the type of the parameter. The type doesn't match here. Okay. What if we pass instead of 5.5 a string value, Jolchubek Bayke?
Yes, yeah. What was the question, please, could you repeat?
Here, what if we pass instead of 5.5 a string?
What if we press it?
Instead of
It
5.5
will not work,
a string value. Why?
because it's the value was incorrect. 5 plus 5.5.
Double.
Because data types are not matching. It's accepting double, and you're giving a string.
Yes.
Can we return a different data type than what's declared? Can we make it string instead of double? Only changing this double keyword to string. Why? What if we change this double to string? What does it return? Does it return a string? No, it returns some number. Again, types are not matching. Types are not matching. So I think, guys, this methods, it's gonna be really easy topic for you. Creating them will be easy, but it's the same thing. For example, if I ask you to write a code that displays numbers from 1 to 10, you can do it inside the main method, or you can create a method called display numbers and write the code inside it, and then you can call that method. Will it do the same thing? Yeah, you just created another code, another block of code for this task. So I have for you tasks, guys. First one is the easiest one. Create practice task 1 class inside day37 package. If you have questions, guys, go ahead, ask your questions regarding these methods in the process. Yeah, so you should not write this. It will be created
Number.
automatically A and B. Yeah. All right. Task 1, the name should be task 1. Okay, create here main method as usually. Create the main method, and next step is task instructions. Right here is our task. Create a method called hello that displays hello world. If you look at these instructions, does it say, you guys, does it tell you to return something? No, nothing should be returned. If nothing should be returned, what's the type for the method?
Just
Void. So create a method, void method called hello that displays hello world, and call it in the main method.
What's the name of the method?
Hello. The method name is hello. All right. Easier than easy. So create this method called hello. And how many lines of code do you have inside that method? Only one line. Did you call it in the main method? Yeah? All right. So this one is the easiest task. Okay. Right now we are creating a method. Method should be created right inside the main method, right? It should be outside. Public. And let's put the static always, guys. We're gonna learn later what does this static mean. Right now, if we explain, it will just create more problems. Like it will be confusing stuff. Public static void hello as a method name. Does this method should it accept a parameter?
No.
No. Then it just displays us only hello world. Then call this method here in the main. Should we put this hello inside the system out print line?
No.
No.
No, we shouldn't. Can we put this hello inside the system out print line?
No.
Can we? Why?
But it's a return method.
It is returning type method, right?
So,
It's not returning type method.
But we already inside process.
All right, if I remove this, can I call this hello inside the system out print line? Can I call it here?
No.
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 Can I do this int a equals and then because it's non-returning type?
Just
All right, just this because it's a void type method. Hello world. Yeah, so far the task 1 is done. Task 2, and they will get more and more difficult. Practice task number 1. Create a class, guys, called task 2. Create a class called task 2. We need methods, guys. We need methods for this. If you write everything inside the main method, it won't be a readable code first. It won't be a reusable code. But if you use methods, for example, a calculator, how many operations are there in a calculator?
4. 4.
In most basic one, there are 4, yeah?
4 based on 4.
So we could create 4 methods for multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. We could create 4 methods and then call them whenever you want. It's better than creating here a main method. What if you need to call here subtraction method and then somewhere here call it again, like create a subtraction method? Better if you create only once a method for subtraction and call it multiple times. Or another example, in ATM, guys, what are the transactions we can perform in a basic ATM? Deposit and withdraw.
Would you like this?
Yeah, and probably transfer, right? Transfer from one bank account to another. For this, we can create separate methods. Public void deposit. It could be this. For deposit, we should take something from user. It could be some number or could be cash. So it will be something like this. So we can make something bigger, smaller by breaking it down into smaller parts. If you make something big, if you break something big into smaller parts, will it be easier to complete it? If you have a big goal to achieve, let's say, $1 million, will it be easier if you like start firstly from 100, breaking it down?
Just play.
Play? Okay. It's always easier to break down something big into smaller parts. So that's why there are methods. And what's the biggest advantage from methods?
You get something to make.
Reusability.
Reusability. You create only one set and then you can reuse as many times as you want. Okay, practice task number 2. Create a method called greeting that accepts in parameters your name. Method should display greeting with your name. It should display hello Joe in my case. Call it in the main method. So when you run your main method, the output will be hello Joe. For me, for you, it might be hello Tim. Is it a returning type method? Is it a returning type method? Yeah, where does it say?
No,
Accepted parameters.
All right, and does it mean that method should return something?
it's a void.
It's a void type method. All right, when can you create this parameters list? Can you create the same parameters list for void method as well? No, so do you think parameters list is created only for returning type methods? Then, as do you remember I told you testers create void type methods, is it right?
Yes.
I told you. So do you think testers create methods that never use parameters? So okay, let me see at the end your solution. All right, have you done, guys? Yeah? Have you done or not? Yeah? Tim, have you done? Yeah, Mahabatçı? Okay. Next. All right, we create a method. What's the method signature, guys? Public static void. Can a void method accept a parameter? No. Why do you say no? Can a void method accept a parameter?
Yes.
Yeah. Any type of method can accept a parameter. So if we create this, we can accept a parameter. If you create a returning type method, you again can accept a parameter. All right. So should it be this way, guys? Public static string or public static void? Public static string or public static void? Public static void. Public static void. And then, is this all, guys, for the method signature?
String
method.
What?
String method.
String method? So do you think I need to change it to string? You mean parameters, right? Inside the parameters list, we should accept a parameter, string name, your name. And then system out print line, hello and your name. Hello and your name. This is it. can I store the value returned after this hello? No, I didn't finish. Can I store the value returned after this method is called in a variable? No? Why? It doesn't return a value. That's why I cannot create here int, for example, or string and store the value here. We cannot because it doesn't return a value. Yeah, just call this method. Hello, Joe. Do you see greeting and your name? All right, so far it's easy. Next one, practice task 3. So first create task 3 class.
So one question,
Sure.
so why we need to use void?
Mm-hmm.
We cannot use the string, so the hello is a string, right?
We can use both of this. We can make it string.
When we can use string, when we can use.
Yeah, we can do something like this, like this. It also will do the same thing, right? It will display as hello. The thing that students always question themselves is, then when do we need to make this method void, or when do we need to make this method returning type? For now, it will not be clear. It will not be clear. It will be more clear when we move to part where we learn what's a class, what's an object, how do we create class and object. For example, here, I can display hello, making it string, and returning this, and then displaying it, or making it void and doing this. For now, let's just learn how to use void and how to use returning type method. This is for now more important. But for the future, I told you, testers, they create more void methods rather than returning type, because maybe it somehow explains it, but who creates this web pages? Testers or developers? Yeah, developers create this returning type methods that, let's say, show us something. But testers, they just test. They don't need to show us these pages. Task number 3. All right, this one could be more interesting than those previous 2. All right, create a method called greet by time. What time is it, guys, right now? What?
It's time to break.
No. It's not a joke. I ask really, what time is it? 7:33? Okay, let's have a break. Okay, at first, let's have a break and then we're gonna complete this one.
Yeah. Yeah, no. What is the $5 from?
Just regular step,
Yeah,
not special,
not special.
not double
Not,
cab,
no,
not
no,
sleep cab.
nothing. Yeah.
Ah, you put it here.
Doctor?
Yeah.
I do have 2 dollars.
Here.
Here.
I'm not sure that you have.
Thank you.
Last one, and then we switch.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. What do you think how old I am? Oh, thank you. That's a nice compliment.
Thought she's around 35.
What?
It's also a compliment, yeah, wine. Like, women are like a wine, they're
Oh,
getting
really?
better years by year.
I don't think so. He's such a liar. Thank you. Yeah, I like. Hi, Papa.
Online students, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right. So practice task number 3, guys. Create this class, practice task number 3, a main method, and task number 3. Here, create a method called greet by time. It should display a specific greeting that depends on the time. Display good morning if the hour is between 5 and 12, and good evening otherwise. Call it in the main method. So when you read these instructions, what do you think? Is it a void method or returning type method? Where does it say to return something?
Void.
Good evening.
Good morning, good evening, system.
Okay, we go back to the task 2. We have here hello and our name. Is it the returning type method?
Void.
No. So accepting parameters doesn't give you making it a returning type. So this method is a void method. All right. What time is it now, guys?
Break time.
It's 7:52. In other terms, guys, it's, let's say, 19. If we use 24-hour format, it's 19. So if it's 19, is it good morning or good evening? Good evening, right.
For the best, good morning.
Stop doing this. All right. So if you use this method, local time.now.getHour, it will return you the current hour. So for time 7:52, what number will be returned? Will it be 7 or 19? It will be 19. So if you use local time.now.getHour, it will return you the current hour, which is 19. And if it's 19, we need to display good evening. If you use arrays to string method, it returns a string of your array. If you use this method, it will return you number that represents the current hour. If you do it in 8 minutes, then it will return you 20, which is 8 p.m. So you should be using this method inside the greet by time. So the method name should be greet by time. It should display a specific greeting. So always you can clarify about this tasks. For example, where are you going to use this method? Local time.now.getHour. There are 2 places, main method or greet by time method. Where will you use it? No, you will be using it in greet by time. If you would need to use it in main method, then here it would need to accept some parameters, but this method doesn't accept parameters. That's why we use it inside the method. All right, let me quickly open this. All right. Will you use any control flow statement thing inside the method? If conditions should be used, all right. All right. Let me see your code.
Something wrong. Wow, wait.
Yeah, you have never created this hour.
Yeah.
Instead of this hour, there's a hint. We need to use local time dot now dot get hour. And
Ah.
it will give you the current hour, which is 19.
It's a link, right? Local time.
Yeah, local time dot now. It will call a method. Okay. So this one should be used.
What does mean temporal?
What?
Temporal, the local time from.
A local time. If you call this local time, dot now get hour, it will give you current hour, which is 19. So you can declare a variable like int hour, then call this method, and then reuse that variable hour. What should be the name for this method, guys? Yeah, it should be grid by time. Method name should be grid by time. Yeah, but your method name is local time. Okay, guys, here we've got a method, getHour. Can we store the value of this method in a variable?
Is that variable?
Yes.
Yeah? Can we store the value of this method in a variable? Yeah? Okay, so let's begin with method signature. All right, Jumagul, what's the method signature for this task, for task number 3? How did you declare your method? Public static void grid by time. Okay, that's right. And here it tells us that we need to display something. It's not just static thing. It can be different. It can be good morning or it can be good evening. It depends from something. So if there are two ways to display something that depends on something, then we use here if-else statements. Yeah, if, and it depends on time, on the current hour, which is already 8 p.m. So we need here something like time and then conditions. How do we get this time? So did you do this? Local time
Time
now
getHour.
getHour. Okay, I would do this to make my code shorter. Int hour and then this. And I can reuse this hour here. So if hour, when is it good morning?
When the 5 greater than 5
When it is greater than 5 and
and less than 12.
less than 12. Okay. Then in this case, it displays us good morning. All right. Else statement. Else statement, it displays us good evening. All right. So this is the solution for grid by time. Then if I run this code, nothing is displayed for the result. Why nothing is displayed?
Need to
Call.
To run the method, it should be called. That's why we call this method grid by time. So we don't need to give here any parameters. Instructions doesn't say to accept parameters or pass. There is a hint to use this method that gives you the current hour, which is already 20. So 20 is greater than 5, but not less than 12. That's why this condition is false, and we run this else statement. That's why we see good evening. All right, this one is void method. I believe next one should be a returning type method. Let's see. Task number 4. Create a method called display number. It should accept in parameters an int n value. This method should find the sum of numbers from 1 to n. Then return the sum. Call this method in the main. Let's say if you used as a parameter value 5 when the method is called, then the sum of numbers from 1 to 5 is 12. What's the sum of numbers from 1 to 10? Of numbers from 1 to 10?
Sum
Yeah. What's the sum of numbers from 1 to 10? It is 55, yeah. So if the value passed as a parameter is 10, then the output should be the sum of numbers from 1 to 10 is 55. Another question, is this a void type method or a returning type method? Returning type method, right? Because there is a statement that says, then return the sum. How about parameters? How many parameters does it accept?
1.
only one parameter, which is int n. All right, let me start timer. All right, will you use any control flow statement for this task? For loop, yep. For loop should be used. Online students, if you can send me your solutions through Slack, can check them really quickly and put a reaction. If it's correct, then I'll put a completed reaction. It says method should accept the parameter, but does your method accept the parameter?
Come again?
Yeah, it says when you create a method signature, it should accept a parameter. We should accept a parameter.
Yeah.
But yours doesn't accept a parameter.
Parameters n, right? But n is or one to n. How to declare it inside the
Yeah, I need to again show one more time. It should be the type and variable name.
type n variable name.
Yeah, int n. You can make it int n. Do we need scanner for this task? No,
No,
scanner, no.
um.
Okay. Step number 1, guys, for this task. It's method signature. How our method signature should look like. It's public, static, and next. Is it void or int? It's int. Public, static, int, display number. And is there something inside the parameters list?
Yes.
Yeah, there is a parameters list. Another, I think, important thing for you to know is this. There is a parameters list. Int, what's the method name? Display numbers. Okay. In the parameters list, we say this method should accept something. It should take. And we should process it. We should use it. So how do we say this, guys? How do we say this method should take a value? We cannot say just n. How do we know that the type of value should be passed? If I call this method here, we need to pass integer, but here we didn't mention, we didn't specify that it should be integer. Now it seems like we can pass any value and that value will be passed to this n. We need to specify the type. The type the type of value passed is int. Now it works. If we make it string, then we need to pass here a string. So this is how we specify the parameters list. It shouldn't be just name. All right. Here, 5. And here, int. All right. Next step. What's next step? Have we done this kind of thing before in the main method?
Yes.
Yeah, we have done it multiple times. But now we're just modifying it, so we use it with methods. What's our first step in this method?
Sum.
Yeah, creating a variable sum.
For loop,
For loop.
Yeah, we better create a for loop than doing sum plus equal 1. We don't know the number n. It could be 55. Then you would need to do this 55 times. So that's why we use a loop. All right, what's next step? What should be done inside the loop?
sum plus equal to I.
Yeah, every time we add the I to the sum. Once you add in the first iteration, sum becomes 1. Then sum becomes in the next step what value?
I.
3. Then it becomes 6. And then it becomes 10 and so on. And then 15. Okay. All right, what do we miss inside this method? It is a return type method. We miss here return statement. Where should we do this return? Here?
Outside.
Let's
Break.
yeah, it should be after the for loop. After the for loop. What do you think, guys? Is it true that the return statement, once the return statement is executed, it's done. Method is finished. What do you think? Is it true that once the return statement is executed, method is finished?
No, we need to write system out, yeah?
No, I mean,
System out.
not the task. I mean, the process of how method works. If this method runs, and it runs everything, once it reaches return statement, and once it's executed, method is done. No. Method is done. Yeah, the job of method is done. When the return statement runs, it means we are going out of the method. We are quitting the method. All right, next step. What should be done next? We can store this value in a variable, and then we can display it. The sum of numbers from 1 to 5 is equal to sum. The sum of numbers from 1 to 5 is 10. The sum of numbers from 1 to 8 is another number, 28. All right. Do we need to declare this variable? Can we do it without declaring this variable? We can't. Can we just call this method instead of this sum?
Yeah.
Let me return.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can do it even without variable, because this method returns a value. So we can call it inside the system out print line. All right, the sum of numbers from 1 to 8 is 28. This is how the perfect solution for task 2 looks like, task 4. All right, is there anything to ask, guys, about this task to explain?
This system
Uh-huh.
out println shouldn't be executed in this display numbers method, right?
Yeah, because I created this task so that you do it this way, but you can also do it other way. If it was void, then you would do 5, and then instead of return, you would do sum. We can do it this way and that way. Now we are doing it this way just to practice, to know how to use void and how to use a returning type method.
Why you deleted this in sum display?
This is to show you that we can call it without creating a variable. We can do it with this. We can do it this way, or we can do it without this variable also, right?
Just decided, right?
Yeah, in this case, we just create a variable for our, to make it easier when you call this variable here. Yeah. So task 5 should be more difficult than this task 4. Each time it should get more and more difficult. Task number 5. So create task 5 class. Task 5 class should be created. Next, in the task 5, create a method called isPalindrome that returns a Boolean value. It accepts in parameters a string word. This method should check whether the word is palindrome or not. Do you know what's palindrome? Let's say we pass a parameter. Let's say BIB. We can call it palindrome when you read from the front and from the end the same way. If you read it from the front, it's BIB. If you read it from here, it's again BIB. Is it a returning type method or void type method? It's a returning type method, right?
Where, how to identify
The method signature?
no, it return of what?
Yeah, here.
How we can
That returns a Boolean value.
It's saying
void
what?
that exists a boolean value, right?
Yeah, it takes string but returns a Boolean. Here it says returns. For example, another word which is
Wow.
radar. It is a palindrome. Okay. So for this one, do we need a scanner?
Yes.
For this one, no, because it doesn't say. Yeah, so you can just pass this any value, any word. It could be radar, could be wow. All right, let me run the timer.
Sorry, so we should use conditions right here.
Conditions should be there, exactly. But there could be also for loop. Probably there should be a for loop to read it from here and then from here, from like front and from the backwards. If we have this word, let's say, hello, is it a palindrome? No, because you compare hello and you compare OLLEH. So you need to find out how you can get from hello, OLLEH. For this one, it's false. Check.
So can I have a hint? Well,
Yeah.
in this statement, how we can identify it?
So your for loop, it should be this way. The hint is this. First, you need to create some string where you are gonna store the other version. Other version, the one, for example, for hello, the other version is OLLEH. So you need to create a string like reverse, and then one by one add letters from back there, and then at the end compare them.
This code is regarding just one word, not that it's universal word, right? Or
No.
universal code.
No.
You cannot use any words to check it, right?
Yeah, we can use laptop. Laptop is not palindrome. If you use wall, it is a palindrome. First, find out how you can reverse hello. How you can get from hello, OLLEH, or from laptop, it's a reversed version. First, reverse it, and then once you have the reversed version, just compare them. serious thing. I remember something. Okay, online students, who solved this one? Okay. So it seems like nobody solved yet, so I'm giving you 2 more minutes. Caner Bek. And time is up, guys. Time is up. Okay. It's not a difficult task because you will never be given this kind of easy task in the interview. It's really easy task. Let's start from the method signature. How did you design your method signature? Public static Boolean
Boolean,
name is
palindrome.
palindrome. Okay, and it takes in parameters string word. Okay. Before we dive here, guys, let's say here we have a string word, which is left off. How can I display this word so that it will show us in the output POT PAL?
We need to use for loop, decrementing order.
Yeah, for loop should be used. And the condition is I less than word length. Yeah. And then how do
It should
we,
be in reverse order, right?
yeah, it should be in reverse order. So it should be from word length -1, yeah?
Yes, and I greater or equal to 0,
Okay, 0 here.
decrementing.
Yeah, fine, minus.
Before we need to create reverse, like a variable that will store reverse.
Yeah, let's for this
reverse.
one just print it. If we just print it, if we just print it, we see only this. We cannot compare it. For example, I have here, let's say, laptop. I would like to compare laptop and Potpel. Can we compare it?
No,
No, we cannot compare it
we
because
need,
we are just displaying it here. We are just displaying. If I would like to compare here, system out print line, like Word equals, how do I compare it? Do I have Petpol, Potpel? Okay, if I put here Word, then it's gonna be true? No. It's gonna be
it's
true.
true.
It's like 1 equals to 1. 1 equals to 1 is always true, so it's wrong. You cannot put here word.charet. Here should be word is here. What's the value behind this word? Laptop. What should be here? Potpel, yeah. It should be Potpel. Do we have here a variable that stores Potpel? No. So variable should be created. Reverse. First, it's empty. And then we add 1 by 1 characters from the end of the string this way. Reverse plus equal word.charet, right? And then we can compare it here. The original word, which is laptop, with Potpel. And it displays false. They're not palindromes. So we needed to use the same technique here. Same technique here. We have a method. It accepts a parameter. We create here a reverse. And then at the end, we should return what type of value should be returned, guys? A Boolean should be returned. How can we get a Boolean? How do you get a Boolean usually? By comparing. We need to compare. If I do this, is it a correct way to implement this method? Return true. Is it a correct way to put here return true?
No,
Or better to put here return false?
no. There should be some variable name, right?
Yeah. If you do false, then all your words will be not palindromes. If you do true, then all your words are palindromes. There should be a comparison. We can do here this. We can create Boolean result and compare the original word with the reverse version, and we can return the result. Or we can return the result immediately here. If you need to describe the for loop, how will you describe this for loop? What's the function of this for loop?
It should come up with the reverse word.
Yeah, it
Okay.
should come up with the reverse word by adding character by character from the end, right?
Yes.
And then at the end, when you have two versions, you just compare it and return the result of comparison. Original word and the reverse, which is Potpel. All right. So this is the solution. Now I have one question for you. Okay. Just a quick question, guys. I'm gonna create here a main method. public void sum, int A, int B, A plus B. Sum for the sum int A 10, B 23. All right. All right, what's the result of this code? Is it nothing?
It's 33.
Yeah, it's 33. Very simple code. It passes 10 and 23 here. And then we just print the result, the sum of this 10 and 23. All right. What about, guys, this? Can I make it X and make it X? Will it be correct? What do you think? Can we do it? Here we say int A, but here we create int X.
Not much. Not much.
This way.
No.
X, and B.
Yes, 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 33, yes.
It will be still 33. Still 33. Doesn't matter. The names doesn't matter. You can pass here X. What's the value of X?
10.
So here in this variable, value will be 10. 10 will be assigned to this variable. And 23 will be assigned to this variable. You can make it even like number, but we need to change it here to number. So the name of the argument, this is called argument. This one is called parameter. If you call it parameter, then it's wrong. These are arguments. So the name of the argument and the name of the parameter doesn't need to match. What should match, guys?
Data types.
Data types, their types should match. Their types should match. If you change it to double, sorry, this one to double, then it's wrong because the type of X is double. The type that we are gonna use in the parameters list is int, so they don't match. All right. A and B. If you do here A and B, you're not specifying the type. It seems like you could pass here even string, like hello, and then here 10, because we didn't specify here the types. Types should always be specified, int and int, then here 2 numbers should be passed. And why is it red here? Why there is an error in this line?
We need to use A plus B.
Yeah, A plus B, because number is never created here. Okay. So this is task 5, is palindrome. All right. Do you know what's anagram? Yeah? Yeah, it's from last class. So this one is palindrome. It's also pretty popular. Next task, guys. Task number 6. All right, I think you have done it before. Count vowels. Have you done it before? Yeah? To count the number of vowels. So you have done it before, guys, with Mr. Baja. So create task number 6 plus task number 6, main method, and the second method. So task number 6, create a method called count vowels that accepts a string word in the parameters list. This method should find the number of vowels in the string and display it. Let's say we passed as a parameter value smartphone, and the output is there are 3 vowels. Question, is it a return type method or a void type method?
What type?
Void type, yeah. Yeah, here you go, guys. Let me. Here you go. The method name is count vowels. Just quickly test. You know, guys, now your if condition is really long, right? I found a way how to make it really short. I'll show you. I've come up with some really genius idea. Oh. Because you need to finish this line. You didn't finish it. You said equal to 1. It's not finished. You don't need to create their count. You need to just create their string.
The string.
Have you done it, Mahmoudji? It's not working. 0, 0, 0. No, of course, because you shouldn't use their AND operator. The character cannot be at the same time A and cannot be at the same time E. It's hard for it. Like okay. So for this task number 6, what's the method signature, guys, for this one? The easiest part of this task is
Public static void,
public static void
count vowels.
count vowels, and it accepts a parameter, right?
Yeah.
String word.
In word. Okay. Next, we can immediately create here. We can call this count vowels. Should I create here a variable in the main method? Should I?
Yes.
No. We can pass here laptop. We shouldn't, but can we? We can. We can create a word. We can create here a word variable, and then we can pass it here. But it's not a must-have thing. We can do this. Next, if I run this code, what will be displayed?
Laptop.
Laptop, yeah. It displays just laptop. Next thing, is it true that we need to check character by character, each of them,
Yes.
and then compare it? L is equal to A uppercase, A lowercase, E uppercase, E lowercase. All right. Next, we need to keep track of something. If you need to keep track of something, then you need to we need to create sum or a counter. In this case, it's
Counter.
counter. Next thing, for loop should be there till words length. Next step, condition. Yeah. If
Word chart I
if word chart I
equals
equals to,
A
how many vowels are there, guys? A,
5.
5
A, I, O, U,
E.
E. Okay. If word dot chart equals to this A, or equals to this A. Okay, what's wrong here? Can we apply to Boolean?
Equal to.
Oh, okay,
Chart
here we missed this. Here it should be I, and here A. And then again. All right. This way, this way, this way. Okay. A, I, O, U, E. A, I, O, U, E. All right. Is this correct?
Yes.
Next, what we do in this case?
Counter.
Yeah. If one of this will be true, we increase the counter. When you check the laptop, what does word.char add? I think, guys, it will be much shorter, like not much. I know the very best solution I'll show you at the end, but I think it would be better if we do this and store it somewhere like this. What do you think?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
use here like this. Okay, so probably CH. Now it's short, but it's not that short how I expect. CH. CH. How many times does this for loop, guys, runs for this specific word?
5 times.
Yeah, 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. And how many times this condition is checked?
10.
How many times?
10
5
Ten.
times checked. It's only checked 5 times. So the whole condition is only one check. So it's checked 5 times. Like this if is used 5 times. And then how many times this if is true?
2.
2 times
Yeah.
only. And where should I put the system out print line? There are so many vowels. Where should I put
Oscar.
this? Inside the for loop or outside of the for loop?
Outside.
Outside. Because this text should be displayed only once. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then
have a question.
there are 2 vowels. Okay, this is the solution. And I would like to show you guys what came to my mind. This is like first way to solve it. And there is a thing that came to my mind. So count vowels 2, and then we can do this string vowels equals to A, E, O, U, I, A, E, O, U, I. And then we can do here this string character word.char add I. We should add this because these 2 types are 2 different, string and char. Char plus string, it becomes a string. And then we can do this vowels contains ch, and it's much shorter than those 6 conditions because we take from the word L, and then we do this. Does vowels contain here L? Does it contain? Do we have inside this
No.
word L? No. So it's false for the first iteration. Next iteration, A. Vowels contains CH, which is A. Is it true? Yeah. So I think this one also will work. There are 2 vowels. But here we have only one condition because we use this string. It looks from there. Okay, this is just another solution that could be used.
Sorry, can I ask a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
So in my case, I have read in the main method, you wrote the count vowels inside of parentheses word is laptop. And why in my case it's red, the word? It says you have to create a variable word. Yeah, so it's color
Did you
is
do
red.
something like this? I hope you didn't write it yourself.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Just like yours.
Mm-hmm.
So why it's red? I cannot it cannot run my program because it's red, and it's with other task as well.
Mm-hmm. Can you copy your whole code and send it me to my Slack? I'm gonna
Okay.
copy it here and check it together.
Okay, thank you.
So in main method, do we need to use system out print line?
No, because let's say we try to use system out print line, but it will not work. Why? Why it doesn't work? Because it's not the returning type method. That's why. We just need to call this method. Wait, did you send me your code?
1 second.
Wait, what's wrong in this code, Jolchubek Bayke? The I is not functioning, it's not working. What could be wrong? Other students. Never put this semicolon here. There shouldn't be. All right.
Yeah, I sent the code.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is what you did. I told you. You shouldn't write the word that yourself.
I didn't write by myself. Yeah, it was like this, and then when it ran, it's become red.
Okay, and then when you copy, let me try if it doesn't copy the word, so I think you wrote it, this word here. Because in your copy, I have this, you see?
Mm-hmm. But
me-
I did it was gray. I don't know why it's like that. So everything is correct except this, right? Then
Yeah, just let me try. I copied mine. I don't have this thing. I copy it. And when I paste here, there is no word. So I think you wrote the word. You need to remove it.
1 second. I will do
Okay.
it again.
Yeah. Once it's removed, the next thing is count vowels is not a returning type method. It is a void type method. So you cannot create a variable and assign to it the result of count vowels because it doesn't return something. It doesn't return anything.
Mm-hmm.
So this way, and then this is how it should be. Just count vowels like I have here.
Okay.
You write here string, then it's not functioning. All right. What do you think, guys? Can we create a method that accepts two strings? Can we create a method that accepts two strings? Yeah. Public static void method. And how will it look like? A method that accepts two strings. Did I say something really difficult? It will be just string A and string B. A method that accepts two strings. How will look like a method that returns two strings and accepts two strings?
Like
How-
return A, return B, like this.
How will look like a method that returns a string and accepts two strings?
Do you mean, inside of my method, what called method?
Yeah, I mean, what should we change here to satisfy this question?
Print to
Instead of voice.
voice yes.
Yeah, void to string. Yeah. Now it answers this question. Next, how would look like a method that accepts an array of strings?
Generate.
What do you write here? String array. Yeah. How will look like a method that returns an array of strings? The one that returns an array of strings.
So we insert, instead of string, we need to,
Okay,
you can put array. So,
just this, right? Okay, let's show, let's see together one example of it. String. Hi. Hello. Okay. So I'm removing this. We call this method. What should be passed here as an argument? String array. String array?
Yes.
All right. Method array. I'm showing you because we haven't done this before. We haven't done this today. So here is a method that returns an array of strings. Can you come up with something, guys? Like with some task that returns an array of strings and accepts an array of strings? Can you come up with some task?
maybe some word convert to char array and, reverse it.
No, I don't think it's logical. You said, can you explain it more?
You, you have two words here.
No. It should be a method that takes an array and returns an array. So can you come up with some task, some example?
You can replace hello first and hi, last time and return. You can-
Yeah, let me do this way. So it should be not specifically this hi and hello. It should be some other.
Yeah, I have it, like make a flight tableau,
Okay.
like Chicago, Illinois, Chicago, Florida, like delaying or like make like
Mhm.
this. If you put in Chicago to Florida, user is entering,
Mhm.
it depends on like delaying or like.
But
Make
how do
two-
you do this? Depends. Think about this, guys, first before answering. You have an array of strings. It can be flights, it can be anything. If you just take it and return it as it is, then why do you need method? It should be processed. That's why we need parameters. Okay, if you have Chicago, Miami, and we pass this to this method, but what do we do this with Chicago and Miami?
Yeah,
What's
it
the
will be
task?
A lot of different like more races, I mean, from Chicago to Miami and like. We are entering it on our system and the user is entering, for example, checking It should be like a lottery or something like this.
For example, I can come up with this idea. Chicago and Miami. So Chicago to Miami, Miami to, let's say, Seattle to New York. It's just what I came up with. And then let's say flights, int or string flight time. And then let's say Chicago, Miami. The flight should begin at, let's say, 12. And this one, Seattle, New York, should be at 7 p.m. But let me make instead of this some numbers at 12 and this one at 5. 12 means 12 p.m. 5 means 5 a.m. And then I can do some, whatever the array, the method name is, I can do for loop array.length, and then when you take this array, it's int flight time. You should not just take it and give it to the user back. You should process it. If you take laptop, you need to check laptop and maybe return its reverse order. Like when you get something, here, when you get a value in parameters, it should be used. So in this case, what I will do is this: string array results or it could be even flights.length if let's say if flight time I is greater than int hour equals local time that now that get hour. If flight time is greater than hour, then do this results departed. Otherwise, prepare. And then this returns us the results. I processed this flight time. I used it. I can remove this flight time and flight time here. I used this. So when you take a parameter accepted, you need to use it. So in this case, so it returns me result system out print line method flight time. If I run it, it will show me both of them are in preparation mode. So let's say, what time is it right now? It's 9, which is 29. Flight time is okay. It thinks this way, like we are still preparing because the 12 p.m. it's not 12 p.m. It thinks like the flights will begin tomorrow. If I change it to this way, then it will show us both of them are departed because 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. both of them are passed already. But this is not the whole idea. The whole idea is if you take something in parameters, you should use it. you should use it. So this is how I came up with your example. Like I tried to do something. No, I implemented what I planned. There could be a lot of other examples. So what I asked from you is an example. Okay. For tomorrow, guys, we have a lot of practice for tomorrow. Get prepared.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, upload the report today.
Yeah.
Finish?